Hey friends, welcome to my channel. This is your timeless reading, so whenever this reading finds you, it is for you. Don't forget to look at the numerology on the reading, the timestamp on the videos, the date it was posted, because all of that information, including this message, may have some channeled guidance for you. Okay, so we have you are very close to achieving your goal. It's when a moon is almost completely full and you are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. Okay, so right now, this reading is for an energy that is having to release a lot of insecurities. These insecurities could be about the way that you look, it could be about just elements of yourself that you deeply struggle to love. And I feel like this energy has been something that whoever's watching this reading has struggled to love throughout their entire life. This is an element of perfectionism. There's a lot of strictness around why you struggle to love yourself in this area. Ultimately, this is a heart chakra opening that's happening to you with all of this green. And this next period is going to change the way that you actually view yourself. You're going to start seeing yourself a lot more clearly because there's this veil over who you've really been that is being lifted. And part of seeing yourself clearly is also attached to an earthly goal. So we have a spiritual element that is also releasing some sort of earthly stepping stone or milestone that you're about to step into. Oh, okay. So we do have a lot of Virgo energy in this reading. So you could be a Virgo, excuse me, you could be a Virgo sun, moon, or rising, Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so a lot of this too is about unrealized self-worth. And it's definitely a part of yourself that has been downplayed, or you potentially maybe have been criticized for this element of who you are throughout your life, but this is being released at this time because whatever this criticism is, whatever you feel like was taken away from your worth, something happened to you, it diminished your worth. This was the illusion. This is why you've been put into this period of isolation, but this is also an isolation that you've created because when the hermit is in the reverse position, this is self-isolation. This isn't necessarily that hanged man energy where spirit is purposely putting you on pause. And this isn't that energy of the hermit upright where, there are these new awarenesses that are coming in for you organically. This is you having held yourself back purposely because of these detractors, because of these insecurities, because of the ways that you feel like your experiences or your life have diminished your value as a person. There's a release of this energy and you're moving away from it. Okay. We also had the Eight of Wands come through. We have plenty of cards behind here, but we have the Eight of Wands. Okay, so this is also having to do with an energy of a lack of communication, a lack of forward movement. There's definitely a throat chakra block here as well, where there's a lot that needs to be expressed. And so there's a karmic energy here because this could be an element from a recent past or even a past life where you didn't express yourself or come through as your full self. And because of that, you're being karmically challenged in this life to do that. You may have a North Node in Virgo, you may have a North Node in Capricorn. That's just what's coming through for me, but it's definitely a karmic energy that is deeply related to self-love. Okay, yeah, so we have the King of Cups in the reverse position. So you could be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. But this is definitely coming through more as a masculine energy that has a lot of repressed energy, a lot of repressed emotion, a lot of just a lot of things that they don't release. And this has created sort of like a bottleneck. Like if you were in traffic, right? And there's just too much volume trying to go through that ramp, through your heart, up through your throat. Like that level is just very, very clogged. I would even suggest that this person just like go out into the woods and like scream or do something physical to release whatever this block is because it's forced. Like this is something that feels very forced, very self-induced. Okay, you also might be an Aquarius or have Aquarius placements or a North Node in Aquarius, which I can relate to, or a South Node in Aquarius, so a North Node in Leo. This energy of not appreciating the depths of what makes you unique and special, truly, and downplaying all of those elements of self in favor of things that feel really superficial. And this has created a sense of loss. And the loss is like it's been perpetuated to the point where I feel like you've lost the origin of the loss and have just become the loss. You're the excuse me, the personification of the loss. You are the walking loss when truly you were a walking standout who internalized their experience so much that they diminished their own star. Okay. Okay, we also have Taurus energy in the reading. So you could be a Taurus sun, moon, or rising, or have a Taurus placement in your chart. But there is a heavy energy of commitment to like this new version of self. And I do get the energy that there was fear around actually moving forward in this commitment for yourself for a long time. And a lot of that fear is being released because there has been some level of discipline. You have been doing something, you have been doing some work, right? And that is what is creating this shift for you. And this is sort of a message to stay disciplined in your work, not rigid, but committed to it. Okay. Committed to flowing through it no matter what happens. Okay. Okay. We have the Five of Cups in the reverse position. Okay. So I get the sense that like there is a huge apology that you owe to yourself. Um, There's a lot of yourself that you've never let grieve certain things. I feel like emotionally, you maybe didn't feel like you were worthy of grieving certain things or worthy of certain levels of sadness because this is going back to a deep self criticism that is steeped in a lack of self love. And then there's this connection between wanting to achieve certain things on the earthly plane, struggling to stay committed to those things in the past because we were living the wound, right? We were living what we felt like was taken from us and purposely isolating ourselves and stifling how we express and stifling is not a word, and stifling how we were expressing ourselves and showing up in the world and communicating and ultimately becoming emotionally repressed, right? So there's this energy of like a self apology that you are owed to yourself and a period of self grieving of whatever is being perceived as lost because of this experience, although this experience was meant to transform you in this life. So the illusion is that it's a loss when really it was part of the lore, if that makes sense. Okay. We have 5 and 5. Okay. Um, 9 and 5. So you may be seeing 5, 9, 9, 5, energy of releasing things for change, actively creating change, right? But there are certain attachments that are being changed for you energetically. There may be people you feel detached from. Those people may be pulling on your energy, wanting to keep you. And there's this spiritual message of, you know, being as graceful as you can to release people who are not aligned with your next path. But there is this change of your devotion, your alignment, and who you're ultimately like loyal to. So take that however that comes across. Wow. Okay. So the Queen of Wands. So the change is you're embracing much more of your inner feminine energy. You're embracing much more of your heart space and doing what feels like sacral healing, where you are addressing potentially sensual or sexual wounding from your past, or you are connecting into energy that feels like it comes from a divine feminine place. And that is what's helping facilitate this healing. There's also this energy with the Hierophant, the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Cups in reverse, where, the divine feminine is sort of healing the divine masculine in this sort of non-local way, where it's down to a commitment that is felt within the energy field. So if that makes sense to you, then take that. If that doesn't make any sense to you, then leave that. On the bottom of the deck, we have, wow, okay, so we have the Death card. So this is a rebirth for you. This is confirmation that this time period is your rebirth. This is for you to ultimately transform into the version of yourself that is meant to conquer this next period of Aquarian energy, of futuristic energy, Pluto in Aquarius, futuristic, a shift in your entire identity, but for your highest good. Thank you so much for coming to this reading, and I will see you in the next one. If you are interested in a personal reading, you can find information on that in the description box.